why willpower is completely BS and why it is not required to stop binge eating. I was doing a workout this morning, and by the way, I'm feeling so good. Like, today has been an incredible day. I just celebrated one of my clients. Hey, Jen! I just celebrated one of my clients inside of my membership. I announced a badass award, our very first badass award inside of the membership, and it's just amazing. I love celebrating all my clients who are truly just badasses, taking action, healing their relationship with food. But I was doing a workout this morning. I was doing a leg workout, and I was listening to a training, and the person that I was listening to was quickly talking about willpower and how willpower isn't going to change your life. How willpower is not required to live a better life for yourself. You guys hear me say this all the time. You can't willpower your way to ending binge eating. You can't willpower your way to not give in to your urges. As motivated as you are, as much as you want to end your binge eating, you can't just willpower your way through not giving into an urge. And this person said the reason why willpower is quite literally BS is because humans are not motivated by what they know. They're motivated by how they feel. And I want to talk about this. Humans, as human beings, we are not motivated by what we know. We are motivated by how we feel. And this is where you can be like, I know all the things of what to do to stop my binge eating. Why haven't I stopped yet? Because it's not just about information. It's not just about the knowledge that you have. You can know all the things of what to do to stop your binge eating. You know you shouldn't give in to your binge urges. But why do you keep giving in? You know that intuitive eating is the most sustainable way to eat. But why do you still feel drawn to diet plans? You know you need to take the focus off of the number on the scale. But why is it so hard to release that attachment to the number on the scale? You know that you should be allowing yourself to have your favorite foods, to take them off of a pedestal so that you don't binge on them. But why do you still binge on them? Because it's not about just knowing what to do. Back in 2018, that's when my binging was at an all-time high. I knew what to do. I knew I shouldn't give in to my binge urges, but every time I was like, just one more time. Just one more time. I promise this is going to be the very last time. I knew tracking calories and macros made me completely obsessed with food. It literally made me feel so crazy around food, tracking every single almond, every single grape, every single ounce of spinach, every single gram of chicken. I knew that made me absolutely crazy around food, but it was so hard to stop weighing, tracking, and measuring my food. And going back to the phrase that this person said, you are not motivated by what you know. You're motivated by how you feel. So you can know all the information of what to do to stop your binge eating, but it's not enough to stop binge eating. And you might say, but Lorna, I feel like shit when I binge. I feel like crap when I binge. Hey, Kristen. Kristen's inside the 21-day Food Freedom Challenge, so good to see you on here. You might say, yeah, but I hate binging. I feel bloated. I feel disgusting, and I literally regret it. Yeah, but you also feel a sense of relief when you give in. You also feel a sense of pleasure, a sense of comfort, a sense of safety, a sense of familiarity when you binge. And you also feel uncomfortable when the urge hits you. As humans, you are motivated by how you feel, not by what you know. When the urge comes on, you feel uncomfortable. You're motivated to give into that urge to binge because you want to get that relief. You want to get that sense of pleasure. You want to get that sense of comfort. Yeah, but it makes me feel like crap. Yeah, but it also gives you the high. It gives you the pleasure. It gives you the sense of relief. You would not continue to do something if it didn't give you pleasure, if it didn't give you comfort, if it didn't give you relief. I used to ask myself all the time, like, I hate binging. Like, I feel bloated. I feel uncomfortable in my own skin. Like, why do I keep on doing it? And maybe you're asking yourself that question too. You're like, I know I shouldn't be giving in. And if you've been listening to me for a while now, you know that every time you feel the urge to binge and you give in, you're wiring this habit into your brain. So you're like, I know that. Why do I keep doing it? And it's because you want to feel the relief, the comfort, the safety. If you've been binging for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years, you know that feeling. You know exactly the relief you're going to get as soon as you eat the cookies. You know the comfort. Knowledge is not enough to transform your relationship with food. I tried. I tried to stop my binge eating by knowing all the things, right? If you've been on diets, you know what you should be eating, right? You know, you've been on so many different diets. Okay, you shouldn't be eating this. Like, you can know all the things. And sometimes that can be even more frustrating. I knew that I was frustrated because I knew a lot about nutrition. I knew a lot about health, right? I knew a lot about nutrition. I knew a lot about health. And I was like, I'm even more frustrated. Like, I almost wish I was oblivious. Because if I was oblivious, then I can use an excuse of like, I'm continuing to binge because I don't know what to do. But even when I knew that every time I was binging and giving into my urges, I was further ingraining this habit into my brain, it's almost like a part of me didn't care. There was a part of me that was like, in that moment that the urge came on, I was like, I don't even care if this is the wrong thing to do. Like, I have to do it. Humans are not motivated by what you know. It's how you feel. Somebody asked me in my DMs, and they said, I know I can benefit from your coaching. Like, I know I'm going to benefit from your coaching, but how is it different than like listening to your podcast? It's a night and day difference. Knowledge can only take you so far. Knowledge on in and of itself can't transform your relationship with it. You know what to do, but are you implementing it? How about the community? How about the customization? How about the support? How about the step-by-step game plan? The people come to work with me in my programs. I've had so many clients come to me. They're like, I listened to your podcast. The podcast is amazing. And I know what to do, but like, I need that support. I need the accountability. I need the community. Because knowledge is not enough on its own. Knowing what to do is not enough on its own. Even for myself, right? Even for myself, like, the reason that I got support, I got the right support, was because I needed support implementing. Because for so long, there's been all these diet culture thoughts that have been ingrained into my brain. You can't eat this. You know, I felt like I didn't even have, hey, Sinead, so good to have you on. I felt like my hunger and my fullness cues were out of whack. Like, I could not hear my hunger and fullness. I was so confused. Like, am I actually hungry? Am I just bored? I couldn't even feel my fullness. Like, stopping when I was comfortably full felt foreign to me. And I had the knowledge, okay, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Like, I knew that. And I was like, okay, but how? I'm like, but how? That's what support is for. You know that you should be eating intuitively. But why are you maybe not doing it? Because there's fear. And you feel comfortable right now tracking calories and macros. You feel comfortable right now having these food rules. Right? Again, humans are motivated by how we feel, not what we know. I knew that tracking calories and macros was not for me. I literally, it was impacting my mental health. But for so long, I was scared to pull the trigger and to actually eat intuitively because there was fear. Tracking felt safe for me. I did it for so long. it just became the norm. Like, I just weigh everything. I just track everything. I just, like, it's felt safe for me. You might have this thought in your mind of like, I'm scared of letting binge eating go. And a part of you is like, that's crazy. I want to be done with binge eating. Like, I hate binge eating. I hate binge eating. And then you're like, but a part of me is like, I don't want to let binge eating go. Like, I'm scared to let it go. Like, who am I going to be without binging? And what am I going to fill up my time up with? Because you're used to binge eating. It's familiar for you. I had this identity of like, I'm a binge eater. Right? I'm a binge eater. And these are all things, these are all conversations that I have with my clients inside of my programs that you don't get from a podcast. You don't get just from learning information. You can know that you have a love-hate relationship with binge eating. You can know that there is fear in letting binge eating go, but how do you work through it? That's what we do inside of my programs. Knowledge is not enough to stop binge eating. Knowledge is not enough. So going back to this phrase that this person that I was listening to said, willpower is BS because as humans we're motivated by how we feel, not what we know. I want you to think about all the things in your life right now that you know about having a healthy relationship with food. I shouldn't feel guilty eating that pizza. Like, I know I shouldn't feel guilty, but I can't help it. My body is like screaming at me. My body just is like, I'm beating myself up. I can't not feel guilty. I feel so bad eating that pizza. I know that I shouldn't. Like, I know that it's okay for me to eat pizza, but like, why do I feel so bad? Because you've been taught to feel bad. You've been taught to feel like a failure. You've been taught to feel guilty. Well, you shouldn't eat that. Why are you eating that? Diet culture tells you, gotta stick to the plan. You can't have pizza. You shouldn't be eating that. Why do you feel so guilty after eating at 8 o'clock at night? Because diet culture tells you, you shouldn't be eating at 8 o'clock. Diet culture tells you that you're a failure if you eat before bed. So then you know all these things, right? And it's like, but why do I still do it? Because again, it feels good. It's habitual. Well, at 8 o'clock at night, I turn the TV on. I'm sitting on my couch. Feels good to numb out at the end of the day. After a long, stressful day at work, I just put my feet up on the couch. I turn on the TV. I have 10 minutes to myself. Oh boy, that feels good. Everyone goes to bed. No one's here. All right, gonna go into the cupboards, grab some snacks, and I'm just gonna enjoy myself. Feels good. You know that you're mindlessly snacking. You know you're not hungry. You know intellectually, but why do you keep doing it? Because it feels good. Even the urge. I know I shouldn't give in. I know I'm going to regret it. I remember being at the office and driving home from work. All my binges were basically in the evening. And I knew I was having the urge, and I was like driving home, and I'm like, I know I'm going to binge, and I know I'm going to feel like shit, and I'm going to feel horrible tomorrow. Like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. Like, this is not a good idea. Probably shouldn't be doing this. But I'm like, but I can't handle the discomfort that I'm feeling right now. I want to crawl out of my skin. You guys know that feeling, right? It's like, I describe it like an itchy mosquito bite when that urge comes on. And it's like, there's nothing else I can do. I can't pay attention to work. I can't have a conversation. I can't finish sending this email. I must give in. I must give in. Because I'm feeling discomfort right now. I want to feel better. We're motivated to feel good. I don't always get excited to do my workout, but why do I work out? Because it makes me feel good. We're motivated by what makes us feel good. Binging is making you feel good right now. And you really have to shift your association and instead of just focusing on the knowledge aspect of what do I do, you need to change your associations with binge eating. Because just knowing what to do is not going to transform your relationship with food. You got to change how you feel about binge eating. Ending binge eating is not hard. Ending binge eating doesn't have to be this daunting thing. When you shift your relationship, even with binge eating, and no longer see it as like, oh my gosh, it feels so far away, then guess what? You feel excited, not fearful, to conquer binge eating. If you see the urge as like, oh my gosh, it is so strong, it's so demanding, I have no power over it, it's so strong, it's so demanding, it's so persistent, I can't not give in. If you're seeing the urge to binge like that, you're not even going to try to not give in. It's like, oh, it's too strong. But if you change the way that you view the impulse, and you're like, it's just like a child throwing a tantrum, it's just like an itchy mosquito bite, then you're like, oh, I got this. Right? So I wanted to share this with you. And there are so many things that I shared, so many different golden nuggets that I shared with you, but don't try to willpower your way to not give in. It's not going to work. I tried to willpower my way to stop binge eating for so long, and it just made me more frustrated. Because I'm like, I know what to do. What's wrong with me? I told myself this morning I wasn't going to give in. And here I am. I binge yet again. And then tomorrow I'm going to promise myself that I'm going to start over again. And the same cycle is going to repeat itself. Stop trying to focus on willpower to not give in to your urges. Willpower, you can't just try harder. If it was about trying harder, you would be binge free because you're an ambitious person and I see you. I know you want to conquer binge eating. If ending binge eating was about trying really hard, you'd literally be binge free by now because you're a badass and I see you and you work really hard and you're so motivated and you are trying to willpower your way through. But unfortunately, ending binge eating is not about willpower. It's about getting rid of your urges. It's about reprogramming your brain to be able to eat without impulse. It's about eating that slice of pizza without feeling guilty. There are certain things that you have to do. And again, it's not just about, okay, but I know that I shouldn't feel guilty about eating the pizza, but you still feel guilty, and we have to work through that. Right? I knew that I shouldn't feel so anxious going out for dinner. And I'm like, I can't help it. This is the type of work that I do inside of my programs. I help you shift your thinking around food, your thoughts around food, your feelings around food. Because when you shift how you view food, when you shift your thoughts around food, when you shift how you feel around certain foods, that is where the transformation actually happens. It's not about, I know I shouldn't feel guilty. I know I shouldn't give in to my binge urges. You got to shift how you think and how you feel around food. When you have different thoughts and you can change, your thoughts create your feelings and your feelings create your behaviors. So right now you're just trying to focus on your behaviors. Don't give in, don't give in, don't give in to the urge to binge. But that's not enough if you're still thinking, I'm never going to stop my binge eating, and you're feeling extremely impulsive. If you have this strong urge to binge and you're just telling yourself don't do it, the feeling's going to override the behavior. The feeling that you get in your body, it's so strong. And you're like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. That's like telling yourself, don't go to the bathroom. When you have this urge to go to the bathroom, like, just don't go. And you're like, I literally need to go to the bathroom. Like, you can't override the feeling in your body. So when you change your thoughts and how you view food, that's going to change how you feel around food. So you change your thoughts around food to no longer see food as good or bad. That's going to help you feel more relaxed and calm around food. And when you feel calm and relaxed around food, guess what? You're going to have less guilt. You're going to be less anxious. You're going to be more calm. You're going to be less impulsive. And therefore, you can have a cookie and move on with your day. You don't have to try to not give in to your urges. You don't feel the urge to binge anymore. So stop trying to focus on willpower. There's a better way to go about ending your binge eating. This is rewiring your brain, changing your thoughts, changing your feelings so that it's actually so much easier for you to not give into your binge urges. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. You're not broken. Like, if you're trying really hard and you haven't stopped binge eating yet, it's not that you're broken. Imagine if you actually use that motivation towards proper tools that is going to help you be less impulsive instead of just trying to not give in. Like, you actually use that motivation to release the guilt, to become less impulsive. Like, you would be ending your binge eating so much faster. So thank you guys for listening. I wanted to share that. I was listening to this morning when I was doing workout. I had to pause my workout and write this down. I was like, I need to make a training on this. I was like, I need to talk about this because it was just such a pivotal moment. I was like, I say this all the time. Willpower is BS. It's not about willpower. It's not about trying harder. It's not about more motivation. There's actually proper tools that will help shift your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors around food. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.